The City of Lawrence Stormwater Management Board meeting is hereby called to order.
And it doesn't have it, but maybe you should call the roll, Renee.
Yes, sir. I also want to invite the public to attend by dialing 1-312-626-6799 and entering the following participation code, 867-7422-0378#. If you would like to provide comments remotely, you can email them to me at rrafala@cityoflawrence.org. Roll call, let's do that. Bob Moreland.
Present.
David Parnell.
Present.
Janet Valisk. Vlasic, I'm sorry, I wasn't sure how to pronounce it.
Excuse me, I was still muted, present, and Vlasic like the pickles.
Perfect. Thank you, Janet. Sorry about that. Staff present, you have myself, Renee Rafala, Sri Venugopalan, our city engineer, Jim Hennigan, our streets director. We've got the board attorney, Brian Bosma, our city controller, Jason Fenwick, utilities director, Scott Scalsbury, and city clerk, Kathy Walton. Did I miss any other staff? Okay. Bob, if you want to take back over.
Yes, yes, ma'am. First item of business is to review the minutes of the meeting of November 16th, 2020. I think we've all seen a copy of it. Does anyone have any corrections to it?
The spelling of my last name, Renee.
Okay.
Janet, you poor thing. I butchered it last time.
Quite all right. Quite all right.
Is it Valasek?
Right.
Okay, I will make that change. Is it okay to approve with that name change?
Yes.
Okay.
Do we have a motion to approve?
Mr. Chairman, Dave Parnell, I make a motion.
Thank you, David.
You want a second, Janet?
Yes, I'm sorry. I had to get my mute on. And I second the motion.
We'll do a roll call vote for approval. Bob Moreland,
Yay.
David Parnell,
Yay.
and Janet Vlasic. I promise I'll get it right.
Yay.
Thank you.
It appears we have no unfinished business from the previous meeting, so we'll move into new business. The first item on the agenda is the approval of the proposed 2021 budget.
Mr. President, if I can, before Jason talks about, or Sri talk about the budget, to Brian Bosma, I just want to give you an update on what has transpired since your last meeting in November, all of which has been good and all of which I sent to you a brief outline in an email. After the Stormwater Board adopted its recommendation of fee resolution for, or fee ordinance really for the council to consider, the council adopted that immediately in one meeting upon the next council meeting after the Stormwater Board meeting. So that was all very smooth. We published notice of the fees as required by law. And in the meantime, kind of over the holidays, we came to a conclusion with the city or Marion County Stormwater District through City of Indianapolis Department of Public Works to resolve. The statute's fairly clear about what happens when an excluded city withdraws from the Marion County Stormwater District, but there are a number of items that are best placed in the agreement we've given you. We can talk about it later if you desire. The memorandum of understanding between the Indianapolis DPW and the City of Lawrence, it's actually the City of Lawrence Board of Public Works. and it was very favorable. And honestly, Marion County was gracious. We were great, but Marion County was gracious as well. The gracious part is they are completing 2 major projects after the withdrawal, and over the next year and a half or so, and Sri can go into the details of those projects. We came to an agreement as to the resolution of the stormwater district fees that the city had not paid on city buildings to the Marion County District, and also favorable, and then an agreement onto the distribution of fees collected last year. And as you'll recall, 2 of you will recall from the last meeting, and Mr. President, you may recall from the memoranda that we sent around, when you withdraw before the end of the year, the excluded city, the city of Lawrence, gets to keep the fees collected in 2020, less payments, its allocated share of payment of debt. So altogether, the city will be receiving about $1.14 million from 2020 fees. That was the approximate $1.8 million of fees, less the approximate $490,000 owed for city building stormwater fees in the past, less $380,000 plus or minus for debt service, pro rata share of debt service for last year. That will be trued up a year from now. So all in all, it went very well. The Board of Works is reviewing that memorandum for approval on Wednesday. And then because you have to spend the money, or you don't have to spend the money, but to spend the money for projects, it has to be appropriated by the council. That's why you have the approval of the proposed 2021 budget before you that Jason and engineering have prepared. And then after you hear that, there'll be a motion to accept the budget and refer it to the common council. So with that intro, Jason.
Sure, thanks. The 2021 proposed budget, I'm not sure who was controlling that screen, but if you could, thanks, Renee. Could you move that to the second page? Yes. So this page kind of summarizes what Mr. Bosma just explained in terms of the estimated user fees from last year, less the parcel fees and the pro rata debt share. So you can see the net expected fee revenue that we should receive is right around that 1 million and some change number. And so then below that are the proposed projects that Sri has come up with for the uses of these stormwater dollars. I'll let him elaborate, or if there are any questions on those projects. And so this is kind of a summary of the, I'll call it the cash flow for this newly created stormwater fund. The second page, or actually now the third page, is simply a more detailed line item budget for each of the categories to fund the projects that we're proposing, which would be in the form of what our council, if the stormwater board approves it, our council will then need to approve. And then the last page, I did list out the annual amount of the debt share payment that will be deducted from future stormwater fees. So I think going forward, I think, Mr. Bosma, you've mentioned that we should probably, seeing how the true up on the city's fees is being made now, that will be gone starting next year. So the only deduction would be the debt share payment. So the actual amount of stormwater funds we will have to work with should be closer to probably the 1.4 or 1.5 range each year.
I agree.
So with that, that's kind of a summary of what's in the budget proposal. If there are any questions on that or on projects, I think Shree's on as well.
Jason, did you want Sri to address something?
If he wants to expand on the projects or if there are any questions, but if not, I guess we could move for a vote.
I think the projects are pretty much kind of laid out. It's just like a general projects as well. More, can Renee, can you go to the second page, please?
Yeah, I was going back up there. There you go.
So the two projects, that we have identified for this series of Wallingwood drainage improvements, which we are doing as part of a water main project. So this, we will be paying that contractor to fix some drainage issues on Wallingwood. Because the right time to do it is when they're actually doing the water main. They'll be reconstructing the road. So that's the best time to go in and fix the drainage. And the Franklin Road drainage is the same thing. We are just trying to, some major ditch work along Franklin Road in front of the park, all the way back to 56th Street to clean up that outfall there. We have identified some lining projects where some of the sewers are falling apart. So we have these are rather big projects, big sewers underneath the roadway. So we are planning to go in and line those sewers to prevent them from collapsing, instead of going in and digging all out. So, and then we are setting aside some money for O&M project, which means basically ditch grading, some broken sewer repairs and stuff like that. That will happen over the year. The plan is to hire a contractor to do that kind of an on-call contract to do that as needed. So that's some of the major things that we'll be doing this year. Anybody has any questions for me or Jason? Can everybody hear everyone?
Yes, we can hear you, Sri.
Mr. Chairman, Dave Parnell, I make a motion to approve the 2021 budget.
I second that motion.
Okay, via roll call vote, Bob Moreland,
Yay.
David Parnell,
Yay.
Janet Velasic.
Yay.
Thank you.
All right, moving on, we have Resolution 1, 2021, approving the Memorandum of Understanding with Marion County.
Mr. President, if I give you a brief introduction on this one also.
Yes, sir.
So for stormwater fees to be collected along with property tax bills as we currently all of us pay, the treasurer charges $2.50 per 6 month billing for that to all agencies in the county. They say all agencies in the county. I suspect some get a pass, some of them at the city, but this actually is the same memorandum of understanding that Southport entered into 6 years ago. Now the price has not changed. So the memorandum just indicates that there will be a payment of $2.50, $5 per parcel per year, and there are about 15,000 parcels, 15,500 plus or minus parcels in the city of Lawrence, and believe that the treasurer will deduct the payment from the distribution to the city when it's made in the future.
Very
And I'm
good.
happy to answer any questions.
A little salty, I think.
Yeah, look, it sounded like it was going to be $5 a half previously, so $10 a parcel, but $5, and that's what Beech Grove and Southport both pay also currently and have for some years. So with that, if there are any further questions, the resolution merely approves the memorandum of understanding with the Marion County Treasurer and also acknowledges that you've received the MOU with memorandum of agreement rather with the Department of Public Works. So when you're ready, someone can move and second a motion to adopt the resolution.
Mr. Chairman, Dave Parnell, I make a motion that I understand this resolution.
Motion to approve the resolution, right, David?
Motion to approve, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I second that motion.
By roll call vote, David Parnell,
Aye.
Bob Moreland,
Aye.
Janet Velasic.
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
Looks like the next order of business is for information-only purposes, the memorandum of understanding, which I believe Mr. Bosma's covered fairly well. Do you have any further comments on it, Mr. Bosma?
I'll just add a couple of things, Mr. President. The projects that the Department of Public Works has agreed to complete were the Lawrence Trades District drainage improvements and the 47th and Rich Hart neighborhood drainage improvements, both of which have some substantial investment in them. And I can't remember the exact figure, but it was maybe $1 million each, plus or minus. And Sri may know better details on that, but the agreement requires them to use their best efforts to bid those projects in June of this year. So they will proceed.
Brian, to clarify, it's more than $1 million. I think Trades District itself is around $3 million, and the Richard Phase 2 is probably closer to 2.5. So it's probably around 5.5.
Wow. Okay, that's great. So there's no real action item on that. I forwarded the memorandum of agreement to you earlier. If you have any questions, happy to go over any of the details with you. As I indicated, the Board of Works will consider it for approval on Wednesday.
Fine.
Thursday. That's Thursday, Brian.
Oh, I'm sorry, Thursday. Better check my calendar.
Thursday at 5.
Okay. That's what I got.
Okay.
I guess we're open for any comments at this point.
Bob, are you opening that up to the public, or are you opening that initially to the board right now?
Okay, I'm sorry, Janet. Yes, this would be for the administration comments.
I don't think we have any further comments.
All right, then it's open for citizen comment.
This is Robert Schlafer, 10423 Rainbow Lane, joining via phone. There were, I believe, some visuals that were displayed as part of the Zoom meeting. As a citizen joins via phone, is there a means by which those visuals can be viewed?
Not if you're joining via phone. If you'd like copies of any of the documents, you can send me an email and I can forward those to you.
Okay, very good.
And you can also
Sure.
view it through Facebook. The stream will stay up and you can view it through that too if you want.
And for future reference, sir, you can download the Zoom application for free on your phone. And the pertinent documents were shown on the Zoom. So you would actually be able to see those on your phone in the future.
Okay, I was on Facebook earlier. I just refreshed and I now see the Zoom on Facebook. I did not see that earlier, so maybe I tried a little too soon to pull it up, but I see it live now on Facebook. Thank you.
Do you
Mr.
have
Chairman,
any
Dave
comments?
Cornell.
I'm
Mr.
sorry,
Chairman,
Dave.
Dave Cornell. I move for adjournment.
A second.
We have a quorum of approval for adjournment. This meeting is hereby adjourned.
Unfortunately, Mr. President, under the governor's order, you got to take a roll call vote on that too.
Yeah.
Sorry, I know it's
apologize.
awkward.
So we'll do that roll call vote. Bob Moreland,
Yay.
David Parnell,
Aye.
Janet Velasic.
Aye.
Thank you, guys.
I appreciated it. You have my email. If you have any questions, let me know.
Thank you, Mr. Bosma.